When you see a lot of this happening in the world, it makes you wonder if the world has descended into madness and anarchy. It's like when you watch the news, there's always bad stuff happening. So bad that peace seems impossible. But it is, in some places. Hello everyone, and welcome to World IQ. In this video, we will be introducing you to the safest countries to call home in 2023. This list is based on the Institute for Economics and Peace, Global Peace Index. If you don't know what that means, it's the world's leading measure of global peacefulness. They present the most comprehensive data analysis on trends in peace, its economic value, and how to develop peaceful societies. Boy, I wish all countries know how to create peaceful societies. The Global Peace Index covers 99.7% of the world's population. I wouldn't want to bore you with the social science of it all. Just know that they calculate it using 23 indicators. They also look at the level of societal safety and security, the extent of ongoing domestic and international conflict, and the degree of militarization. Alright, enough said. Let's get it. Number 15. Croatia. This country of almost 4 million people in Central and Eastern Europe is known for its gorgeous beaches, hidden coves, and stunning picturesque scenery. The government has a diversified service-based market economy. The greatest share of the service industry is mainly because of tourism and related services. Croatia is generally safe for travelers if we're talking about violent crime and terrorism, or gun violence like mass shootings. US. The only thing travelers should keep an eye out for is petty theft around major tourist areas, but even that isn't rampant. Did you know that the homicide rate there has been on a steady decline since the Croatian War of Independence in 1995? Croatia is the 28th member country of the European Union, so they don't have much external threat coming from their neighbors. They have a GPI score of 1.44. Number 14. Finland. Another country in Europe. This nation-state of 5.5 million people is known to be the world's happiest country in the recent World Happiness Report. Did you know they've had that position for 6 straight years? Wow. Sometimes I wish I could be Finnish. They're not just known for being the happiest country, but also for having the best education system and cleanest air. Did you know that they even have spectacular views of the Northern Lights? Did you know that Finland has 187,888 lakes? The largest one is called Lake Saimaa. Their economy is primarily based on private ownership and free enterprise. The largest sector of Finland's economy is services, which account for 72.7%, 31.4% for manufacturing and refining, and 2.9% for primary production. They have very few crimes here. Well, it makes sense if you're also one of the least corrupt countries in the world. If your citizens don't feel like they're being robbed, and government services are working smoothly, you less and fewer reasons to commit any crime against anyone. And one more thing, they're part of the EU as well. So you wouldn't find in the news that Finland tried to invade Croatia or Poland or anything like that. They have a GPI score of 1.43. Number 13. Hungary. Another European country. With a population of 9.7 million, this country is known for its wealth and thermal water sources. Often called the land of waters, this is probably where you could get the best bath of your life. Visiting Budapest, its capital, you can find a place filled with culture, fun, and history. A perfect place to relax. The capital has more than 30 theaters and over 200 museums and 1,000 art galleries. It seems that they take cultural preservation very seriously. Their economy is primarily based on their industries, which include food processing, pharmaceuticals, motor vehicles, information technology, chemicals, metallurgy, machinery, and electrical goods. The crime rate here is very low, aside from the few pickpocketing scams in tourist areas, so watch out for that. Even severe weather events seldom visit here, so you'll have a great time when you visit or even migrate here. Hungary has a GPI score of 1.41. Number 12, Canada. Finally, we're out of Europe, but something tells me we'll be back here shortly. Anyway, this city of 38 million people is known for plenty of things. Famous landmarks, historical wonders, delicious food, and inclusive multiculturalism. If you're someone who loves the outdoors, you will love it here. There are so many amazing destinations to choose from that it'll be hard to decide which one to go to. The largest industries here are real estate, mining, and manufacturing. It's considered one of the safest destinations in the world due to low crime rates, strict gun control laws. Oops, I know a country with a lot of gun violence. They have robust social programs and a strong sense of community. People feel secure in their homes and communities here. They also aren't actively threatened by other countries. If you live here, you can sleep well at night without ever worrying about any invasion. They have a GPI score of 1.38. Number 11, Switzerland. Welcome back to Europe. That was a short trip, wasn't it? This country of 8 million people is known for its breathtaking mountains, clocks, cheese, and of course, chocolates. Around 74% of Swiss GDP is generated by the services sector and 25% by the industry. This country is a well-known tourist spot with amazing culture, beautiful festivals, and delicious food. They are a neutral state. If you don't know what that means, it's them renouncing violence. Did you know that they haven't gone to war since 1505? They have accommodated a few laws to allow trade among EU countries, but they aren't an EU member. Yeah, that's another story. Just know it's safe here. They have high standards of living, lots of great places to see, and great universities. If you're a nerd like I am, and you know Big Bang Theory, you're probably familiar with a fancy physics thing called the CERN Super Collider. Yeah, that's in Switzerland. Remember that episode about Leonard going and Sheldon making such a fuss because he got jealous? Watch it, it's a great show. The Swiss have a GPI score of 1.35. Number 10, Japan. Konnichiwa, welcome to Japan. This country of 125 million people is known for plenty of things. No, really. From the best innovations to the weirdest crazy stuff. They have it all. They're one of those countries who have successfully exported their culture. And if you like anime, or someone who loves anime, that's proof that their culture is almost in every corner of the world. They're also home to plenty of amazing tourist places. You've heard of Mount Fuji, right? How about the cherry blossoms? Japanese cuisine, anyone? Shibuya Crossing? Did you know that every 100 meters in Japan, you can find vending machines? Japan being safe is not by coincidence, but it has something to do with culture, history, and government intervention. Japanese people feel a sense of moral duty when we're talking about crime and disorder. They have a unique strategy, too, for reducing crime rates by preventing easy targets or places where crime commonly happens, like ATMs and small shops. Japan is doing well, too, diplomatically speaking, since they have diplomatic relations with nearly all independent nations and has been an active member of the United Nations since the 50s. Their foreign policy is aimed at promoting peace, and they are actively collaborating with the West. They have a GPI score of 1.33. Number 9, Singapore. Great, we're still in Asia. This tiny country in Southeast Asia is home to 5 million people. Singapore is sunny and has a tropical climate. They have 4 major communities: Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Eurasian. Singapore is pretty famous, so you probably already heard about Merlion Park, super trees, their hawker centers, Marina Bay Sands, and their airport called Jewel, which has a waterfall inside. I've been there before, and the pictures and videos never do it justice. It truly is an architectural marvel. This country is known for being a global financial center. They have a highly educated population, high standards of living, and a commendable low crime rate. Their legal system is transparent, and they have a reliable police force. I've tried walking around the city in the wee hours of the night. It makes you feel safe, and it's quiet. If you're looking to go to Asia and want the perks of a first world country, Singapore is your best bet. They have a GPI score of 1.32. Number 8. Czech Republic. Home to 10.5 million people, this country in Central Europe is known for its incredible architecture. I am running out of adjectives to describe its beauty, but the EU has these things to say. The Romanesque, Gothic, Renaissance, Baroque, Classicist styles, Art Nouveau, Cubism, Functionalism, and even the Communist-era architecture stand side by side across the country. Their economy is primarily driven by the energy sector, largely built around two large nuclear and coal power plants. The Czechs boast of an efficient healthcare system. The hospitals are clean, and the state-run insurance system makes it affordable for its people. Well, they made it on our list, so they have praiseworthy low crime rates. It's really difficult to access weapons, and terrorism has a low impact on the country. Did I mention that they are an EU member state? The Czechs have a GPI score of 1.31. Number 7. Slovenia. This country in Central Europe is home to 2 million people. This is also one of those countries gifted with scenic landscapes that can be your next wallpaper. Did you know that they have 8,000 caves? Yeah, only 20 of them are open to visitors though. Their economy is largely based on exporting goods. Last year, their total goods exported amounted to 42.6 billion euros, while the export of services reached 11 billion euros. The likelihood of you becoming a victim of serious crimes is small. There's a reason why this country is 7th among the safest countries in the world. The only biggest concern, and when I say biggest, this is already considered very low relative to other countries that are not on our list, would probably be petty theft. You won't see much violence here. Even the risk of natural disasters remains low. They rank 5th in the World Energy Index. They have a GPI score of 1.31. Number 6. Portugal. The next country houses 10.3 million people, with a large number of 200 million language speakers worldwide. Portugal. Portugal, or the Portuguese Republic, is known for its discovery history and seafaring because of its location with the Atlantic Ocean surrounding the land. There are two different kinds of weather when you visit this place. The south, or the Algarve, is warm, and a place where most tourists visit. The other one is cold with few residents, which is the north coast. This country was an economic powerhouse back then, when they had colonies in other continents, even named as one of the world's richest countries at its peak. Now, they're really on an import and export system. Portugal is safe for everyone because they have a low crime rate and non-existent violent crimes. Even the most popular city, Lisbon, is typically safe for travel. They have a GPI score of 1.301. Number 5. Austria. Yeah, we're never leaving Europe for the rest of this video, except for one, but we'll get to that later. Home to almost 9 million people, this nation-state in East Central Europe borders the Czech Republic, Germany, Hungary, Italy, Liechtenstein, Slovakia, Slovenia, and Switzerland. If you're someone who knows European history, then you wouldn't be surprised by how much of a role the Austrian royal family has had in shaping the continent's history. Most especially in the arts, Vienna became an important city, largely due to its famous musicians, painters, and artistic movements. They have a free market economy with strong social focus. This is what I learned in my international development class about welfare states in Europe that prioritize the overall well-being of all its citizens. Levels of crime are low, similar to other European countries on this list. The most common crime tourists will ever have the misfortune of encountering would be pickpocketing, but even that is rare. Levels of violent crime are almost non-existent. They have a GPI score of 1.3. Number 4. Denmark. The next one might be low in population, but they sure have a lot of stories to share with everyone. Denmark. This country has a population of 5.2 million. It is an archipelago made up of 400 islands in the North Sea and Jutland Peninsula, which make up 2/3 of the country's land area. They are known for the sceneries, art, dining, and even the home of the famous Lego. Its economy relies on the service sector and foreign trade. Denmark experiences little to no natural disasters, and they're also known for the people's kindness, so relatively, the crime and violence rate are low. They have a GPI score of 1.296. Before we get to our top 3, have you guys picked a favorite? Which country do you think you should visit next time? Let us know in the comments. If you haven't yet, then maybe the last 3 will make up your mind. Number 3. If you know where the United Kingdom is, then you probably know where Iceland is, because it's its next door neighbor. The country of 5 million people boasts famous music and dance through its racehorses and Guinness to cities such as Dublin, Belfast, and Cork. It's a small country with a big presence. If you're a digital nomad like I am, you're probably familiar with at least one of the things that the Irish are known for. Aside from producing high-quality meat and dairy products, a huge chunk of their income would be from the tourism industry, and a lot of multinational corporations have been setting up their headquarters here due to the low corporate tax rates. Did you know that there are around 6 million tourists that visit the country annually, and they generate close to $4 billion? The overall risk here is low. The only thing you ever need to worry about would be mugging and petty theft. But again, this is all relative. I don't know why a lot of European countries have pickpockets as the only common crime here. It's kind of their thing. Their GPI score is 1.28. Number 2. New Zealand. The next country is growing steadily in population. Now, it is at 5.1 million. New Zealand. This country is known as a Pacific island, with blended traditions from Oceanian, European, and Polynesian traditions. It is known for its sceneries with the right blend of breathtaking lowland plains and picturesque snow-capped mountains. It is also dubbed as Middle-earth because it became the set for famous movie installations, The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. The Kiwis, or the people in New Zealand, are known to be very welcoming and friendly. It has a free market economy with goods and services determined by a free price system. Due to its location, New Zealand is prone to natural disasters, but rest assured that the government is taking precautionary measures to keep the people safe. It has a low crime and violence rate, but the authorities are still sending reminders to tourists to be sensible to avoid petty crimes. One of the most notable things in New Zealand is their high-quality, yet affordable healthcare system, both for the citizens and permanent residents. It has a GPI score of 1.269. The safest country in the world is the land of fire and ice, Iceland. I know it's called the land of fire and ice because it has both volcanoes and ice caves, but why is it only called Iceland? I don't know. Maybe we'll make a video about the origins of Iceland. Welcome to another place applauded for its tourism. This tiny country in Northern Europe is small country-wise because they only have like 400,000 people. Some of the things to see here will be the Northern Lights, Blue Lagoon, volcanoes, glaciers, and waterfalls. Iceland is also famous for its history and being settled by the Vikings. Their economy relies on the income coming from the tourism, fishery, and aluminum industries. From theft and vandalism to severe crimes like murder and a police force that does not carry guns, it makes sense why they're a peace-loving nation. What makes it even more believable is that, apart from the high living standards, the developed economy, the good air quality, great education system, and a country where gender equality does exist, when you have the most basic human rights achieved, and you are a welfare state, people wouldn't be running around with big guns, shooting at schools and supermarkets. That's it, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you expanded your world IQ today. Have you visited or are planning to visit one of these countries? Let us know and share your experience in the comments section. If you like this video, maybe you'll also love its evil twin brother. 10 most dangerous countries in 2023.